What's up, guys? So let's talk video games. Fire Emblem Fates. When does it come out? Hey Siri, when does Fire Emblem Fates come out?
Let me check that. Here's what I found on the web for when does Fire Emblem Fates come out.
She actually came. Okay, cool. Thanks, Siri. March 10th, 2016. Siri, couldn't you just say that?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
That's what I figured.
God, Siri, you don't have to be a little Anyways. So yeah, it comes out March 10th, 2016. And it's going to come out for the 3DS, and the publisher is Nintendo, obviously. I have mixed feelings for this next Fire Emblem game because I fell in love with Fire Emblem Awakening. I love that whole grid, the grid combat. I think it's called a strategy RPG. And this game is actually already was released in Japan last year. The thing with Fire Emblem Fates is a while back when it was announced, they had already mentioned that a little bit after it was announced that it was going to be two versions. And then after that, they were like, it's going to be three versions. The thing with that is that it's Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, Fire Emblem Fates Conquest, and then Fire Emblem Fates Revelations? Fire Emblem Fates Revelation. But Revelation is in the form of DLC, so you're going to have to download. If you want Revelation, you're going to have to download it. The difference between the versions, now I didn't really have a problem with this, because I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be like Pokemon, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue. We're used to that when it comes to Nintendo and the handheld systems, because they've been doing that for years with the Pokemon games. But when they were going a little bit more into detail with what's going on with Fates, I was like, oh my god, okay. So this is the 14th main game, 15th all in all, and the second game on the 3DS. So this one comes after Awakening. Awakening isn't the only Fire Emblem game I played. I also played the GameCube? Fire Emblem Radiance and Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. But I have a good idea of the more classic Fire Emblem games, where if one of your characters or one of your party members dies, they're freaking gone. With Fire Emblem Awakening, you could turn that off. You have casual mode and classic mode, and that's coming back for Fates as well. So you don't have to play like the classic Fire Emblem games where if one of the characters dies, they're gone. That as messed up as that is, where you're like, what? Like, I could lose this character? It was super challenging. I remember every battle was hanging on a thread. It was like, oh my god, like I really have to do this right. So I kind of like that feeling as well. So I never played Awakening like that. I never played it classic. I played it casual. So I don't know about Fates. Well, I don't know about Fates in general. Okay, let me get into this whole issue. So in these three versions, they all follow the same characters. You get to create your little avatar, your main character, like in Awakening. You could choose male or female. You could customize how they look. So in Birthright, you are dropped into the kingdom of Hoshido. Now this is the same characters. All three versions have the same characters. The only difference is the storyline. And they're saying that it doesn't really break apart until the end of chapter 5, like already starting into chapter 6. That's where you make the huge decision. So in Birthright, you're dropped into the kingdom of Hoshido, which is your birthplace. And in Conquest, you're dropped into the kingdom of Nohr, Nohr, and this is your adopted home. So by force, you're dragged into this war where you have to pretty much choose sides. Are you going to choose to side with your adopted homeland, which is Nohr, or your birthplace, which is Hoshido? So that's Birthright and that's Conquest. So I was like, okay, I get it. Two different versions. Great. In Revelation, you can bring the two kingdoms together and go against the mastermind against this whole war. The only way that you could get all three of these in the cartridge is through the collector's edition, or I think it's also called the special edition, because I was looking and I was like, what's the difference between the special edition and the collector's edition? And I really don't see a difference. Either way, they're all sold out anyways. They sold out like hours after they were announced, which I have an issue with already because these are called scalpers. These are the people that take advantage of the fans. They take advantage of this, what Nintendo usually does, and a lot of companies do this, not just in Nintendo, but Nintendo tends to do this way more in advance. They announce something and then boom, it's sold out. If you didn't pre-order in like a few hours, it's gone. And usually it's scalpers. It's on eBay. It's these people that I swear if hell exists, I hope they have a specific place just for them. They go and they pre-order or they get a bunch, like a bunch of these limited editions or collector's editions, and then they sell them for like 10 times as much on eBay. Oh my god. Like, they need to get a real job. It's so messed up because the fans, they end up not being able to get any of these editions, and the really big fans have to end up paying all this money to these people that probably don't even know what the game is. So anyways, the only way to get 3 versions on one cartridge is through that. So that's already gone. And it was running for $79.99. So $80. The issue I have with this is I really want to play this game. Like I said, I love Fire Emblem. I loved playing it on the 3DS. So I was super hyped about this, but then when I found out that the 2 versions, how much is one game? I see on Amazon. Fire Emblem, not Fates. Fates. Let's see. I'm gonna look for the special edition. It's coming up. Let's see if it's even there. Currently unavailable, so it's gone. $39.96 for each of them, which is pretty typical for a 3DS game. My brother asked me this yesterday. He was like, are you going to get, because he loves Awakening too. He played Awakening, and he was like, are you going to get Fire Emblem Fates? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I want to get Birthright. Which one do you want to get? And I was like, I think I'm going to get Birthright too, because Conquest, it seems like for a more challenging type of player, someone that wants to be a little more challenged. You can't get money as easily as in Birthright. I think XP also is a bit limited, so it's a bit more challenging. But then he was like, dude, there's like 3 versions and all this stuff, and I was like, what? Because I was like, okay, it must be like Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red, where there's just a few differences in them. That's what I thought. When you would buy Pokemon Red or Pokemon Diamond or whatever, you would wait until you bought the other one, so that you could collect all the Pokemon or whatever. Some people never even did. But with Fire Emblem, it's the same story until you hit the end of chapter 5. And then if you so let's say I had Birthright and I was like, you know what? I kind of, now knowing the story, now that I've gone through it and I know what's going on, I kind of want to side with with the kingdom of Nor, with my adopted kingdom, with my adopted home, which is Conquest. You can't play that game anymore. You have to buy Conquest. If you can't buy those 2 versions for a 3DS game, now keep in mind, that's what I kept telling myself. I was like, okay, keep in mind, they have a lot of content. This is a lot of content. But what pissed me off was that for people that can't afford it. Now, if I wasn't saving up for an Xbox One later in the year, because I want to play Quantum Break, and it's an Xbox One exclusive. There's other games that I want to play for Xbox One also, so it's going to be worth it for me, because I want to play Gears of War 4, and I want to play Cuphead. I want to play all these different games for Xbox One as also. So I hate being limited, so I prefer having, if I can, I prefer having all the platforms. I'm not going to be able to get both of these games. I'm not going to even be able, I don't even think I'm going to be able to get Revelation, because that's already, how much even is Revelation? $20. So if you're like, you know what, I'm going to buy, you can't buy the collector's edition anymore. It's gone. That was $80. So you're going to have to pay for Birthright. That's $40. Conquest, that's another $40. That's $80. And Revelation, that's 20. So 8, 9, that's $100 in what should have been one game. These are choices you're making in the game. Whatever game you choose, Birthright or Conquest, you have to stick with it. If no matter what the story is telling you, if you're like, I changed my mind, like I because right now we don't know anything about the story. We don't know what is going on with Nor. We don't know what's going on with Hoshido. We don't know. Birthright and Conquest are pretty much the same game. It's just a different choice. Why not just put those together? You know what I mean? Even if Revelation was separate, whatever. But Birthright and Conquest, I feel like they should have just been one big game, two choices. If you wanted to bring them both together, you could if you want to, but that you don't have to, you're not stuck with one. You know, you haven't even played the game yet and you already know that you're stuck with that choice. I'm the type of player that likes to have all the choices at my disposal because I want to choose. I want to feel like I'm affecting my game. Like, I love those games. That's why I love role-playing games. And some of these choices are really hard. Splitting up the games like that and like saying you're stuck with this choice unless you give us another $40. You know what I thought was really funny though? Like I said, in Japan it was released a year ago. They have something that's called skinship. I'll see if I could get a video on here. Actually, no, because Nintendo's all weird about that, and they're probably gonna send me like a bill if I do. I'm gonna get my 3DS. Okay, so here's the 3DS. It looks kind of weird because it's got the Neo. What's it called? The Dream Gear thing. This is the Nintendo 3DS, the XL. This is the original one, not the new one. So you've got your stylus, right? But in Fire Emblem Awakening, you could form relationships. You could be friends, and you could also even marry some characters. I don't remember if you could marry same sex. I don't know if that's new in Fates. You could fall in love with same sex in Fates. You would have to do things that you would have to like choose them to be your partner in combat and stuff like that, so that their approval or that their how much they like you would go up. But in Fates, in Japan, there was this thing called skinship. And what this was the character, it would have like these cinematics, and you would be talking to the character that you want to marry, that you want to fall in love with. And they would come up really close on the screen, and over here you would do this like tapping motion or even like a circular motion, and it would pretty much be like pretending like you're tapping them on the on the face or on the head, but it was just from the neck up. So you would just like, it's kind of like in Pokemon. You could do this in Pokemon. You could like rub on you could rub Pikachu and he gets all happy and he's all Pika, and because he loves that you're petting him. And you could do this in Nintendogs and stuff like that, right? It's like a petting type of thing. But you could do this now in Fire Emblem. So it's like you're touching their face and stuff. It looks so funny because the character's like, oh, talking in Japanese. I don't know what they were saying, but it was so funny. I was laughing so much. So Nintendo, obviously, here in the United States was like, yeah, no. So that was removed, and I was like, oh, damn it. Obviously, freaking United States wouldn't be okay with that. You could freaking slaughter people in games and kill people. I mean, you're pretty much killing people in Fire Emblem as well. That's okay. But it's not okay to touch people on the face and stuff like that. And you're just using the damn stylus. Like, come on. And it's not like you're going in like the boob area or anything. But yeah, Nintendo was not having it. And they're like, no, that's coming out. It's not a part of it. So there's no skinship in Fire Emblem Fates in the United States. It's only in Japan. Freaking A. But that was a way to raise your heart level. And I don't even know why Nintendo's making such a big deal. Because if you remember, there was this, if you guys, for those of you that have played Harvest Moon, yeah, Tree of Tranquility. I think it was Tree of Tranquility. For the Wii, You remember the Wiimote, right? When you would go to a character, and I think you could do this to any of the characters, but if you wanted to raise the heart level, especially for the person that you were romancing, you would point the Wiimote at the person, at the character on the screen, and you would go like this, and it would be like you would be like touching them, like petting them, and they'd be like going. You can see little hearts. So Nintendo has done it. I mean, come on. It's pretty much the same damn thing. And it was worse here because you could see a freaking hand just rubbing them all over the place. And this is just from the head up. And it's a freaking stylus. I mean, come on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about when it came to Fire Emblem Fates. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Are you guys going to buy it? Are you guys going to buy all of them? All 3 versions. I just got a message from my brother and he's like, man, I might have to give in. I really want to play this game, Fire Emblem. See, I'm in the same boat. Like, I really, really want to play this game. But I think I'm going to wait just to read a few reviews. Should I call him? I'm going to call him. Hey. I'm making a video actually on Fire Emblem. Oh, really?
It's almost what, 11?
Oh, I didn't even realize what time it was. In Fire Emblem, do you think you're gonna get it?
The videos I'm seeing, I think I'm gonna get it, dude.
Really? I was thinking of maybe waiting. Like for reviews. Like for reviews.
Well, because there's already reviews. I mean, the game's been out for 6 months in Japan.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, you can see all the videos already. There's already an English translation, too.
Really?
Yeah, like, I guess, I don't know how they're modding it, though. Like, it must be an emulator or something.
Huh.
Because I sent you a video of this guy playing it, but it's the Japanese version with English translation.
Oh, wow. Huh.
But, I mean, I don't know if you saw the video, but...
I saw a bit of it.
He's doing like, the customization.
Mm-hmm.
Just, man, it looks so cool.
Really?
I mean,
so, have you seen any of the reviews?
Yeah, they're saying it's really good.
Damn, dude. I think I'm gonna have to buy it then.
Because, so there's Birthright, and then there's Conquest, and then there's Revelations.
Right, where if you could bring both of them together and fight one bad guy, right?
Yeah, but Revelations is not going to be available at launch. It's going to come out later.
Oh.
It's only going to be available at launch if you buy the special edition, which is all 3 games plus the book plus the pouch. Also, did you hear how the amiibos work on it?
No.
Like, you get to bring in, like Mars or Roy. Basically, like, whenever, I guess. Like, when you put them on the...
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Like, when you're going to do a battle, you can, like, add them, and there'll be, like, another player or another character that wasn't in your roster.
On your grid only?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. I wonder if it's different, like if the game is much different on the new 3DS.
I don't think so. Because that secondary joystick, I don't even think is used.
Oh, right, right. Alright, dude, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
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 Bye. I've got to think about it. I think I'm gonna get it, though. It just... I'm probably just gonna hope that I don't change my mind with the choices. Because you can't even play... No, you can't play Revelation without having Conquest and Birthright. Am I right? If anybody knows, let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, if you know more about this, please let me know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.